All right, let's do this.
All right.
Anybody that's been watching through this whole thing, thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate you not giving me any feedback on how to get this going
A little bit
while I'm
behind
looking
the
at this on my
scenes.
thing. So, all right. So, wait. Wow, I have two people watching. Really? We've been doing this for 30 minutes. Oh wait, you know what? I know what it is. It's this and that.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, nobody's watching me.
All right. Fair
Okay.
enough.
So anyway, um, hey everybody. Well, I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not even. All right. We
Yeah, we're
probably don't
just
even need to
gonna
address everybody. I can just address you because you're
yeah, we're
basically
just
my
gonna
guest
jump
slash
in.
yeah my guest slash co. So I guess what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about video game magazines,
Yeah.
but we're not gonna be talking about Nintendo Power because I think everything that's been said about Nintendo Power has already been said by people who are much better at doing this.
Then we
Um,
are. Yeah.
we're gonna talk about like some of the lesser known ones, some of the ones that I had growing up. Uh, uh, we've got a stack of magazines in front of us. We're just probably just gonna flip through them and just talk about what we see. Uh, especially the magazines that have like predictions about certain consoles or games and stuff. Which ones
Hmm.
were right? Which ones were deathly wrong?
Yeah.
Um, so right off the top, I found an official PlayStation magazine from what year is this? December 1999.
Yeah.
And it is probably my favorite magazine cover. I won't say it's my favorite. It's easily in my top 10. If you want to look it up, like I said, it's the December 1999 issue of PlayStation Magazine. And the cover has this killer Resident Evil 3 uh, art on the front. It's like Jill and the Nemesis, and they're drawn in like this kind of like anime Japanesey chibi style, I guess it is. And it's one of my favorite magazine covers, and just seeing it just brought back all this like nostalgia. Like I had a subscription to PlayStation Magazine, and it had some of the best like art to go with the articles that I had ever seen in any magazine. Um, what about you? Like, were you a PlayStation magazine reader at all?
I'll be honest with you. I wasn't. I never really read PlayStation magazine. I mean, I had a PlayStation, but I never really read it. I thought it was kind of interesting that I thought the magazine was interesting. I just never subscribed to it. I never bought it.
Right.
I was always an Electronic Gaming Monthly fan,
Mm-hmm.
so I was all, oh my gosh, I wow. I already know where this is going. I'm already excited about. I'm sorry, but I already know exactly where that's going,
Fridge, I just
and
want
I am
to.
super excited to see it. I am super excited to see it.
I don't even want to know, man.
I do.
I don't
It,
want
it's
to know.
it's probably one of the greatest things ever, and I want to. I don't want to talk. I don't want to tell you,
Yeah.
but if it's based on a movie, and it's really really good.
Okay. All right. So
Um,
back to the our topic.
yeah.
Getting off topic here.
So,
But
um,
okay, so like I said, I had a subscription to PlayStation Magazine.
mhm.
Um, although these weren't the ones that came with the demo disc. That was another PlayStation Magazine. That was OPM, official PlayStation
Well, I
Magazine.
thought that was this.
No, this is PlayStation Magazine.
So what's the difference?
The official PlayStation Magazine is actually published by Sony, where this one is not. Like, even says at the top, unofficial, unbiased.
Oh,
So yeah,
well that
OPM
makes
came with
sense.
the demo disc.
Uh huh.
Um, but I still would have I still read PSM because it was such a it's such a meaty magazine. Like you get so much for like how much were these back in the day? I'm trying to find a price on 'em. Oh, every now and again you're gonna hear me like rifling through pages. So if that bothers you, I'm sorry.
Nah, 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 man.
Like stuff like this, I could easily like how much was it like a Game Pro back in the day? Do you know?
Um, I think the magazines were like $5, $6.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't expensive.
Yeah, and as a kid that liked to read a lot,
Yeah.
I liked the PlayStation magazine because it had so much going on. Like they had like 10 pages of viewer letters and fan art and upcoming games and previews and reviews and interviews. Ooh, that was a lot. That was a nice little rhyme I had there.
Previews and interviews. Yeah, that
um,
was pretty good.
like just flipping through this one, there. Oh man, this is bringing back so many memories. Oh wow, there's an ad for ebworld.com
Hmm.
that doesn't exist anymore. That's GameStop now. Wow, Quake 2, Grandia, Cyber Tiger. Oh, the 2-page spread for Resident Evil 3. Oh, still one of the best Resident Evil games. Don't at me.
Um, I'm not.
Oh man, the first Rainbow Six. I don't want to hear any of you Rainbow Six Siege people. This is a first Rainbow Six game.
So, what issue is that?
This is issue number 28.
Okay.
Issue 28.
Okay. Let's see. I was like, I'm looking at it right here. I pulled it up.
Okay.
But the first issue was talking about Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
so
man.
It came out in like 96, 97.
Mm-hmm.
So that's crazy.
And I actually had this exact magazine. I forgot what I put that sticker on. Like it had a little smiley face with an eye patch on it.
Hmm.
Completely forgot. I wish I still had that sticker. But I remember reading this. Yeah, they're like down at the bottom. They're talking about Crash 2 and Blasto. Game date 98.
Jeez.
It doesn't seem like that long ago, does it?
No, it really doesn't. That's like 20 years ago. Man.
Yeah, man.
20 years. So anyway, I'm thinking when I go through some of these, I was looking at some of these electronic gaming monthly magazines. I don't know. I think what really got me into those books was Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
And in EGM, they did a full piece on Mortal Kombat 3.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my brother used to get up every Saturday morning and watch, the cartoons and stuff.
Yeah.
And we would cut pictures out of those books and put them on folders, like cut out characters and put them on folders.
Really?
And so I did that a lot with Mortal Kombat 3. And I don't know, I just felt that was the book.
You two were
that I
dorks.
because there was a really neat cover.
You two were dorks, man.
And I can't remember which.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it was. They had some of the coolest covers for their books, and I think I remember their cover for Mortal Kombat 2, and I loved it. And then they did, 3, and I don't know. There was just so much interesting information there.
right.
And so that was my thing.
Can we talk about okay, so one of my favorite parts of like the gaming magazine was the viewer letters. And of course, like you said, Nintendo Power had some good ones, but like these other magazines had some gems in them too. I can't recall any right off the top of my head, but I do. Oh wow, this one has a Gran Turismo 2 sticker in it.
Huh.
Look, check it out.
Oh wow.
It's a bumper sticker for your actual car.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. And so,
For
let
anybody
me see.
wondering, the sticker says "In friendships in record time." It's a bumper sticker for a car.
And so, I put the magazine cover up for Mortal Kombat 2,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, so I remember owning that book, and I loved that book, and it had like a lot of details about that game and stuff. Well, Mortal Kombat 2 is still like my favorite Mortal Kombat, but well, anyway, over the years, the reason why I like them is because they always had, like, whenever they did reviews,
Hmm.
all of their reviews were done by three different people,
Right.
sometimes four,
Yeah.
and they would all have different scores, and those scores would get composited into one score. So you
Right.
didn't have, like, you never had a situation where you had one person that reviewed a game and that was basically the opinion of the book. And
Right.
like even now with like places like IGN and stuff, you have people that like they may get somebody that'll review the game and it might come out a really low score, but then IGN puts out an article that says, "Hey, this is like the greatest game ever made,"
Yeah.
and you're like, "But you scored it like 4.0. What's going on?" So, in order to eliminate that, you had at least three or four different reviewers giving you different scores, and then
Yeah.
so you could visibly see that from various opinions there were and so that was one of the things that I really liked about them
Hmm.
is that you were able to do stuff like that, and I think that's why I followed them a lot. And they were really funny. Eventually, you got what Sue? Did you ever read the Sue and Chan comics that they did?
I didn't.
Oh
I
man,
didn't.
like I ended up doing an art project on that, like on Sue and Chan.
Oh wow. I like.
Like,
Like. I'm flipping through this. I'm flipping through the issue, the Game Pro issue, April 2000, number 139. It's got Siphon Filter 2 on the cover.
hmm
And they would always run these contests toward the middle of the magazine where if you completed like this little simple word puzzle, you could enter to win the ultimate gaming rig. It was like 20. They advertised it as like $20,000 in prizes. Um, so God, where is it that they list everything that's in here? Um, uh, no, okay, so they don't list the prize, but like I'm looking at the ad and it's like a big stereo system, some giant floor speakers, a satellite dish, a big screen TV.
oh, the
This thing,
yes,
see
the
if you can find that ad and please put it up.
the yeah, the what do you call? Oh, in fact, they've got a Sue and Chan in this book, which wow, that is cool. But yeah, here I'll see if I can't put it up.
It's like the systems that were out at the time. Like you got a PlayStation 2, an N64, a Dreamcast, a PlayStation 1, a computer, a Game Boy, and two PlayStation arcade sticks.
What was that? It was the Pandora, Pandemonium,
I don't know what like I
uh,
just flipped through it. Um God, it's so bizarre seeing this again because like you had to pay to enter these contests, but it was like $3. Like if you wanted to enter all of them, they gave you like a $4 savings. Like you sent them $5 and they enter you in all of them. So I guess one person could win all of them. I don't know for sure. But geez, that brings back so many memories. Uh, oh wow, a strategy guide for Donkey Kong 64 back when games had cheat codes and stuff. What what was your favorite cheat code?
my favorite cheat code was Probably, I'll be honest with you, I have no idea. I think my favorite cheat code probably would have been the. Oh, oh, hmm. I didn't
Take
really
your
use.
time, use your words.
Yeah, let me see. Because I didn't really. All right, all right, all right. The cheat code, the only cheat code that I really used, I guess it wasn't really a cheat code, it was just like a really neat little. It was just like a really neat little thing, but
Hmm.
the cheat code that I used the most was from Ninja Gaiden 2 for the NES,
Okay,
and basically all it was a sound test,
sure.
and all you did was sit there and listen to the soundtrack,
Hmm.
and I love doing that. I love doing it. That was what I like to do.
Just listen to the game music.
Yeah, just listening to the game music, and so that was the only cheat code that I really did. I did use like some codes and stuff for
Yeah,
Mortal
that's
Kombat,
it.
or and stuff like that, but it
Hmm.
wasn't like, you know, like I even now I still preferred the Super Nintendo version of the game,
Yeah.
so I never really needed the blood code for the Genesis because the blood code didn't change the fact that the game was garbage.
Yeah.
So,
So okay, so
oh
what
yeah,
you're seeing on screen now,
yeah, I
it's
found it.
one version of the contest. So like I said, it had most of some of the same stuff,
It
but
was always that
yeah,
same, virtually that same
yeah,
thing, and
but
it was
it
just,
kind of varied from
well,
month
yeah,
to
yeah,
month.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like this one had a Super Nintendo and a Jaguar in it, where the other one had a PlayStation and a Dreamcast in it. But yeah, like you say, you down at the bottom, you do the simple little word puzzle, and then you send in your $5, and they enter you in all these contests. I
Nobody ever won those.
Yeah, I don't think anybody ever. I
No,
think
no,
they used that money to fund the magazine. Honestly,
no, they didn't.
what?
Okay, so,
So you know the actual story behind
well,
these?
I did a lot of because, okay, so when I dug all these books out, right,
Uh huh.
and I was going through them, I did some research.
Sure.
I had to do some research on it,
Uh huh.
and because I remember seeing it, I was like, oh man, I remember that little contest. Wow, that is so cool. And come to find out, like, okay, so it was just an advertiser that bought into in Pandemonium. I knew it
Yeah.
was like Pandora or something. So there was an advertiser that bought into this, right?
Uh huh.
And so he I can't think of his name right now, but so what he ended up doing was he ended up selling these contests. Like he just ran like these little, it was like a lottery, and
Right.
basically when you enter into the contest, the first couple of puzzles are really easy,
Uh huh.
and they're time sensitive. So they mail you a new puzzle, you complete it with your send in the money, and if you get it right, they enter you into another one, and you
All
do
right.
like 5 or 6 of these,
Sure.
and they progressively get harder as you go.
All
But
right.
the problem is there are a bunch of people that what they did was they would send them to people like, and they would show up at your house like either the day before the deadline or the day after the deadline, so you could never, so that by the time you got it completed and sent it back, it would be too late to get it.
That's
So it was
really
like some
crappy.
really scummy practices.
That's really crappy. Because
And,
like think about being a
uh,
little kid like back in the 90s and flipping through a Game Pro and seeing this like man, I could win all these game systems and stuff and a computer and a TV.
yeah, like it was always some sort of ridiculous amount of consoles and radios and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff, and
You think
it
it was a
was,
3DO?
yeah, and like, so apparently the company that did this went bankrupt like 6 times over.
What?
Yeah. Let
Oh
me
my
see.
god. I think it's funny that they're playing Alien versus Predator on the Jaguar on the TV in the like that game's all like you could have picked one of the better games on the Jaguar. Like you could have picked like Tempest 2000 or uh what was it? Attack of the Mutant Penguins. Was that the name of that game? I don't know.
Rick Lund. That was the guy.
Rickland?
Rick Lund.
Rick Lund. He sounds
Lund.
like a scumbag.
Yeah. So that like that's what it was. So this is what I found. I found on Reddit. It says It's been a long time since I entered the Pandemonium and Puzzle Me contest. I've been a winner 3 times while under Pandemonium and a 3-time winner under Puzzle Me. So 6 times he's won. As of this day, I've only received enough money to pay for just one out of the 6 times that I've won. I've called Rick Lund so many times. I've been so patient with him, and I've always asked when I talked to him on the phone, I would give a story why he can't pay me, but he always kept my hopes up that in the future he was going to be able to pay. For example, after he runs another contest, he would have to pay me then. So yeah, I kept my hopes up, and I only got paid like $500 a month, and that $500 a month only lasted a few months because the company filed bankruptcy. And so it's not just the ultimate gaming rigs; it's these other contests too. They're all under the same umbrella,
Right.
right? So nobody ever got the $20,000 prize setup.
Oh,
Nobody ever got
that's
that.
real scummy.
Right? But he would do like Puzzle Me contests, and those are the ones that you get like money and stuff.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I entered a Puzzle Me contest and won 3, but it didn't matter because the same thing happened again. Although I got a little more than that this time. I nearly won $50,000 total between the 6 contests and maybe received a total of $6,000. The figures are so vague.
Did he like take him to court or something?
What are you gonna do? He doesn't have any money. He went bankrupt. So, to anyone, it's impossible to win if you don't know what you're doing. And if you do know what you're doing, it's still a slim chance on winning. And finally, if you do win, I wouldn't actually expect to receive what you won based on my past experience with Pandemonium, Puzzle Me, and Rick Lund. I'm in total shock to find out that he has yet another contest going under another name.
Oh, wow.
It's unbelievable how this can keep going on for all these years, but I guess it's people like that, people like me that won, and just sit back and accept what he pays us and don't push it any further or take legal action. And that's why I guess he can keep on doing this. And so, because somebody asked, like, does somebody still? Because everybody was wondering if it was like a scam or not.
Yeah, it sounds like a scam. Do you have like a favorite like game magazine cover? Like I know you kind of mentioned the Mortal Kombat one.
I like that one. Game Informer did a lot of really good covers.
They did.
I think one of my favorites of theirs was the one that they did for the Beatles rock band.
Yeah.
And I loved the.
Didn't they do like 4 different covers for that?
They did.
Yeah.
And they did variant covers for the Ni no Kuni game, which was really nice. And the Mega Man 11 book, they did variant covers for.
Yeah.
I don't remember enough about the retro covers to say whether I like them or not.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember Ninja Gaiden 2 Nintendo Power, that was really cool, and I remember the Electronic Gaming Monthly about the launch of the Dreamcast. It was orange and it had a big swirl, like the swirl on it and stuff, and it put in big white letters 99.99. Oh, man.
You know what else came out that day?
Go ahead.
Final Fantasy VIII came out that day.
Yes, it did.
That's same day.
Probably what sunk the Dreamcast.
No, I wouldn't consider it sank the Dreamcast.
Well, I was going to go ahead and say, though, you got to remember, Final Fantasy VII was the biggest game of 2007, or 1997.
Yeah.
And then with a sequel right behind it, there was no way that wasn't going to, I'm not going to say that it sunk it, but it definitely made PlayStation 1 what it is today, and
right.
It probably did.
Do me a favor, pull up I want you to put up Game Informer issue 314. It's Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Okay. And while I do that, I was gonna say reiterate on my Sue and Chan thing. Like that was one of my favorite things about Electronic Gaming Monthly, was they did like this little thing. Let me see. And it was always like, it was just two of the guys that worked at the magazine, and they were Asian guys, and one of them had the last was named Sue, and the other one was named Chan. So they made a comic strip out of them, and they had little adventures within some of the gaming world. So like they would go to various gaming things.
So it was kind of like a Nestor in Nintendo Power kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like Nestor and Nintendo Power.
Okay.
Yeah, except it was like two of their staff. And so they like so it was just like this thing, and so that's Sue right there. And Chan was like he was like a tall guy with like a really long head, but the comics were really funny, really really funny. Think Penny Arcade. It
Yeah,
was funny
yeah.
like Penny Arcade.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that.
Makes sense.
So it was really kind of neat to see that be a thing. But you wanted me to look up what now?
Look up Game Informer issue 314, or at least put the cover up, because this is
314.
yeah, because it's like I got it in the mail and I knew immediately that I wanted to keep this particular cover.
The
Because it's just like I love the art. Like I'm a Marvel horror. Like I love anything Marvel related. And when this came, I I read it. I read all the articles I wanted to read, and I put it away because I wanted to put it in like a nice protective sleeve to kind of keep it, because it's so good. Like it's one of the better Game Informer covers that they've done. Like I said, it's for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and it's issue 314. If anybody wants to like try to track one down or look it up or whatever, it's just like that super comic book. I guess this is how the game is. Like I haven't played the game itself,
right.
but I'm assuming that this kind of like cartoony, like sort of cell shaded art style. Yeah,
Right.
that's it. Oh, look at that, man.
That is neat.
It's such a good cover.
Yeah, that is pretty neat. I'm not gonna lie. That's
And,
pretty cool.
and anything that has like Miles Morales Spider-Man on it, like I'm all over it.
Yeah.
Like this is such a good cover, man. Um and and I know they don't sell like a lot of game magazines like in bookstores anymore, but stuff like this would have gotten me to at least pick the magazine up and look at it.
Right.
Uh, and then like if it had some kind of substance to it, like on the inside, it probably would have gotten me to at least pick up one issue and buy it. But it's just like they don't like Game Informer's good. It's just they don't make like super meaty game magazines anymore because everything's online now. And like I said, just like picking up one of these, like we've got like a stack of old magazines here. We're just like kind of rifling through them. One of these has the first time that Sega announced Jet Set Radio, like one of the best games on the Dreamcast. This is official Dreamcast magazine, by the way, and the this was one of the few magazines that actually came with the demo disc. Like they gave you a demo disc and it had like maybe what 6, 7, 8 demos on them that you could try.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first one I bought had a demo for, it was a Dead or Alive game. I want to say it was Dead or Alive 2, but I could be 100% wrong. And me and my brother absolutely played the crap out of that. Like I got really good with oh god, who's in that game? I am totally blanking on the roster right now, but uh we got really good at like those 3 characters that you could pick in the demo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like magazines, they well, I guess they can't do it now, but they don't do stuff like that anymore, and that it kind of makes me sad because they the demo discs were like, that was the best part of the magazine.
Mm-hmm.
You get to try games you probably wouldn't play, or games that you would probably pass over, or games that were getting ready to come out. You could at least try them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I remember I had that PlayStation, the interactive PlayStation demo, and it was like you had codename Tinka,
Yeah.
and you had what was it? What was it? The Treasures of the Deep,
Mm-hmm.
and you could flip the card on the thing. Like say some of them had videos, you could flip it, and it would give you a 3-button code,
Mm-hmm.
and if you type that in, you could play a different demo like MDK or something
Oh
weird.
yeah, I remember the. Didn't
Yeah.
they give those out at Pizza Hut too?
Yep.
They did, yeah. Okay, so for anybody that doesn't know, or anybody that's younger than like what 30 at this point,
Mhm.
back in the day, when you ordered Pizza Hut, they were super into like gamer culture back then, like nerd stuff. So you order like a large pizza with like four toppings for like what $7.99, something like that, and they would send you a demo disc of PlayStation games, and there weren't there like four that you could get. I think it was like four like different discs that you could get, if I'm not mistaken. But I remember the one that had it had Intelligent Cube and what Blasto.
Mhm.
Um, God, what else? Like again, I'm blanking on this because it was so long ago. But the like back when Pizza Hut was cool and their food wasn't garbage, you could get like if you ordered a pizza, they would give you a copy of one of the X-Men cartoon episodes on VHS for like $1.99. Um, and dude, it just they don't do stuff like that anymore. And I know we're kind of getting a little off topic. We're talking about like magazines and stuff, but
Right.
um, that was like the best part of ordering pizza. Like like your mom promised you, like if you got 100 on your quiz, like on Friday she'll order you Pizza Hut and take you to Blockbuster to rent your favorite game. And then that's what you did all weekend. Like you play your favorite game, man. What are you doing over there?
I'm researching. What? I'm just
What?
listening. No, I'm listening to you. I got you.
Don't you think you should have done all that before we started?
No.
Yeah.
No, because I was just well, I'm pulling stuff for what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
it
but
came
it seems
because
kind
when
of one-sided when I'm over here talking to
no,
myself.
that's the whole purpose of this is long form. You can talk as long as you want to.
I
I don't
realize
have
that.
to say anything while you're talking. Yes,
Yeah, but it's a back and forth, man. It's how our conversation
I
works.
know that, and I'm listening to you while you talk.
Well, do you just
we
stop
don't.
tap tap
Well, no,
tapping?
we don't have like a producer, so
I
we
realize
don't have a
that.
PA.
I realize that.
So one of us has to one of us has to wear mini hats. Gee
Mini
whiz.
hats.
Not mini hats, not tiny. One of us has to wear,
MANY hats.
have A, B, and C caps, all caps.
Right
But
there.
no, no. So no, what I was looking at is I was not looking at weakness.
Are you sure? He sounded kind of sure. I'm inclined to believe him.
Heh. The no, I was getting ready to get us when we get back on when we get when we get back to uh talking about the magazines and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I get that. You know,
Okay.
the lost start of demo. Well, I mean, you don't really need demo discs
Yeah, I
anymore.
know everything's digital. Blah 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 blah. Like
Yeah.
we get it, but you know things have. I miss the demo. This is the point I'm trying to make here.
Well, I get it. I mean, but I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, most games don't even offer demos anymore.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
it's a lost art, like you
Yeah.
said.
And so I think now you don't even really have m- you don't even have the motivation to you don't have the motivation to have to or the they don't have to like it's the same thing with instruction manuals, right?
Yeah,
They don't have to print that stuff anymore because now every game gives you like some sort of a weird uh story entwined tutorial that teaches you how to play the game.
And again, that's another lost art that I'm super sad that
So
nobody does anymore.
yeah, and it kind of bothers me. So when I watch like when I can't watch I can't take seriously. I'll say it like this.
Uh
I
huh.
can't take seriously retro gamers
Why?
on YouTube
Why?
that play retro games.
Why so?
Well, not all of them. I mean, obviously I take myself seriously,
The
but
the utmost like the most upstanding opinion of retro games yourself.
no, well, no. I'll say it like this. People that are way more successful than I am
Uh huh.
make me angry when they play
Why?
because they don't they don't play it with an appreciation
Uh
of
huh.
what it was. They
Right.
play it with the intent to tell you how bad it is or to tear it down. Now,
So
and then on top of that, all right. I'll go ahead and say I'm obviously referring to a couple of people,
uh huh.
and I'm not going to say it
Not
out
gonna name
loud.
any
No,
names.
of course not. But when you watch them play and you see what they're doing, it's frustrating as somebody who up to a few years ago owned all these consoles and systems,
Hmm.
and who even now am sort of jealous of the fact that they have them, and really want something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I hate it because I'm jealous. I'm saying they don't seem to appreciate what they have. And
Right.
so when I watch, like, say, one particular YouTuber that plays a game that they say is bad or that they can't figure out, like Castlevania,
Hmm.
the one on Sega Genesis, Castlevania
Bloodlines.
Bloodlines. And they're not saying that the game is bad.
Hmm.
It's just that they're playing it like they don't know how
They're
to play it.
they're playing it as a joke, basically.
Almost,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I'm like, well, it sucks that you can only throw your whip in this direction.
Hmm.
You know, this is not like Castlevania 4 where you can throw it in all 8 directions,
Right.
right? But I'm like, well, if you read the instruction manual,
Hmm.
which you clearly have on your shelf because you pulled the case
Right.
with the book from your shelf. Because games used to have instruction manuals,
They
right?
did. They did.
If you sit there and you take part of your video, even if it's like 30 seconds to a minute of your video,
Hmm.
and you go pour through that instruction manual, learn the controls real fast and what you can do,
Right.
then you can jump into the game and know
Right.
how to play it.
Yeah, because most
You
games back
can't
then didn't have like a tutorial.
you don't have a tutorial, you get thrown into it,
Yeah. Baptism by fire.
and that's it.
Yeah.
And you just go. But if you read the instruction booklet that everybody was mad that games don't come with anymore,
Yeah.
but if you read the instruction booklet that came with it, it tells you how to play the game.
Right.
So I can't watch you and take you seriously as a retro gamer slash YouTuber, whatever you are,
Hmm.
if you play a retro game without reading the instruction manual as it was meant to be played.
Right.
You
I see
don't.
what you. I see what
You
you're
see what I'm
saying.
saying? So for me, that bothers me. That
Yeah.
bothers me. Like I can't in my mind connect the dots there. I can't say like when you watch even with say one of the best dissections of like say Mega Man. I'll throw this out there like Ego Raptor's video about Mega Man and sequelitis and Mega Man X,
Yeah.
and how the game itself teaches you how to play it by
Right.
showing you something. It introduces you to something else, and then it takes those things and builds onto it and shows you how to do this. So later in the game, when you come to that same scenario, you're like, I've already done this a million times, right?
Right.
So the game is teaching you how to play while you do it. So with a game like that, you don't really have to have an instruction manual. You're just jumping and shooting and hitting stuff. So when you come to a place, or so when you come to a game like Castlevania, you have two different characters you get to choose as. You can say, oh, well, let me go research this.
Hmm.
You look in the instruction book, you got the whip guy, and it's like you hit the up whip, and you can up whip, and you can grab, rooftops and swing from ceilings and stuff, so that when you understand that you can get to higher platforms and traverse things just with your whip,
Hmm.
you're able to look at that later in the game when you go to, I want to say it's the third level, and you have to swing across a chasm. with John Morris, and you already know how to get across it because you understand that your character can whip swing,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Right.
So I can't take you seriously as that kind of a player if you're not trying to do the right thing and play the game the way it's supposed to be played. Which for those, you get the game, you open the box, you pull the instructions out, you flip through it real quick, learn it,
Mm-hmm.
apply that to the game. Like my brother, when we used to play Street Fighter 2, and I used to beat him up, and he'd be like, "Why are you doing all these moves I can't do?" I'd be like, "It's in the instruction manual." Well, I
Right.
don't want to read the instruction manual. I was like, "Well, then you won't learn how to throw a Hadouken." And now, I mean, he infuriates me with how he beats me at those games. It got
Yeah.
to a point where I had to give up on what was it, Armored Core. I just said, you know what, this is your game. I will never play it again because you beat me too bad.
You know how you feel when Phil beats you in Armor Core?
Yeah.
That's how you make me feel whenever I play any fighting game with you. I want you to know that. You ruin fighting games for me. Because I suck at them and you don't.
But I mean, it's okay. So for myself, I get it, and I get where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I just, you know, I've actually kind of, and I mean, obviously, we're way off topic here,
Yeah,
but
way off topic.
and
But
we'll divert back soon. But when it comes to games like that, I don't even really try to play them anymore, or try to even be good at them anymore because of that. I try to purposefully not get good.
purposely be bad at them
Yes,
just so people will play with you?
yes, that's where I am.
Really?
Yes, if you wonder why I never go to tournaments, why I never try to get tournament ready, is because of that. Because I can't turn it off.
Like what? It's
If I
like the
know how to,
berserker rage. You can't flip it off.
yeah, if I know how to do it, I'm gonna do it. If I know how to play it, I'm gonna play it the best way I know how to play it.
If he dies,
But if
he dies. Kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah, if I choose not to learn how to play it that way, then I don't have to worry about that.
Dude, I need
So
you to
I
like.
basically halted my own growth in gaming specifically for that, and that's why I can play single player games and do really well at those. But when it comes to fighting games, I'm mediocre.
I
I
need
could
you to
probably
like.
hang with some of the best online if I chose to, but
Yeah.
I choose not to because I'd have to translate that back to being able to play against you or anybody else. And that makes it not fun. And I want to have fun. I want to have the opportunity. I want to be good, but at the same time, I don't want to lose.
Yeah.
But if I do lose, I don't get mad about
But
it
see
because I
the
don't want to be that good.
The reason that people lose to you is because you give them broken controllers.
thanks, John.
So I think that's on my YouTube channel. But there's a video where where Kenny and I got into an argument about that because I beat him really really bad at Street Fighter. Like
Oh,
I beat him
jeez.
I beat
Which
him in
Street Fighter, though?
Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3, Marvel versus Capcom versus SNK, like the whole roundabout. And the whole time he was blaming it on his controller, the arcade stick, everything.
Right.
Right? And so he was like, and so in the Star Wars video, he was like, man, we've never played together. I was like, Kenny, we just played like a week ago. And it turned into this argument.
Oh my
Everybody was
God.
laughing. Everybody was laughing because he and I just went back and forth. I was like, dude, I was like, I just beat you, and you complained that the controller was, and it would just turn into this mess. I love you, Kenny, and it just turned into this mess, and it was just awful.
Yeah.
It was just awful, and but but I had witnesses. That was the thing. That's why he said that, and that's why because they were sitting there when it happened. And you remember what happened, Taylor? You remember what was it like? And I mean, like, and I mean, like, he was screaming and slamming his fist and just the whole
What?
roster. I picked everybody. Zang, Zangief, Blanca,
Bruh.
Chumley, like everybody, and just straight down the line.
Did
Just
he even win a match? Oh my god, poor Kenny.
I know, and that's what I'm saying.
Poor Mr. Kenny.
It was a Mr. Kenny.
Poor Mr. Kenny.
I was like, you have 20 seconds to comply. I think you better listen to him, Mr. Kenny.
Oh god, we
All
love you,
joking
Kenny.
aside, it was just a really bad. It was a
Yeah.
really bad thing, but it it turned into a bigger fight. It turned into a legit argument. Like, I mean, he was legit raged, and it turned into an argument the following week, because we were doing, instead of Battlefield that week, we were doing Battlefront, Star
Yeah.
Wars Battlefront, and it was me, Ari, I think Daryl was on there, John was on there, Kenny was on there.
Oh,
We were all
Jesus.
playing, and they didn't know, except for John. He was the only one that knew, and so, and so,
Oh my
and so
god.
you can hear John laughing in the background while Kenny and I are just screaming at each other. It just turned, and he's like, because he was like, man, games aren't fun when when you're doing this and when you do that. And I was like, but Kenny, we just had a conversation about this last week.
Oh my
And oh, my body hurts. I'm laughing too hard. But it was just like, it was the most beautiful argument that you. And, oh, it was epic, man. It was epic. It was great. It was great, and I didn't expect it to turn out the way it did, but I just thought it was kind of contradictory
Yeah.
when he said that, what he said in that match, and I
Uh-huh.
said, wait a minute. Now, we just had a conversation about this, and you literally just did this and this and this while we were playing this.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't remember that. That never. Like,
I do not recall
ow,
the
ow,
original
ow,
question.
ow, 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 ow. Like it never happened.
Wow.
And I'm trying so hard not to laugh because it's making me hurt now. I'm laughing so hard about it. But it was a thing, and it man, it was one of the most glorious whoopings you could get, and it was just like I mean, just the amount of rage you wouldn't believe.
No,
Like,
I totally believe you. Play
Like-
gets you.
And I mean, you hear, like, I'm sitting here trying so hard to keep it together, and I'm like trying to empathize, and all I hear is, and it's like all you hear is plastic just clacking and just pow, 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 and just breaking, and I'm just like, he almost broke his arcade stick.
Okay, so that reminds me of another story about. Okay, so we used to play this game on the GameCube called Naruto Clash of Ninja 2, right? And the way that game works, like it's a kind of like a pseudo 3D arena, right? And everybody's in the arena, you fight it out. So at some point you lock on to the character you want to attack, right? So
I remember this.
yeah, so every time, like me, Cordy, Taylor, and our other friend Byron, we would play, everybody would lock on to Cordy and get him knocked out of the game first, because he was the biggest threat.
See, you guys are scumbags for that, by the way.
Yeah, but that game sucks, dude.
Uh,
That game was not worth getting angry over.
I don't think it sucked. I thought it was pretty good.
No, it wasn't.
I didn't hate it.
I
It
didn't
was-
hate it either. It just
was-
wasn't very good.
It was fun. It's just, y'all were
Yeah,
just.
Taylor got beat so bad one time she threw a chair at Byron.
That was definitely when we had to call it quits on that
Yeah,
one. That was the end of it. That was the end of that game.
That
It was
game-
fun jumping me because I wasn't gonna throw any chairs. But the minute that chair went flying, we were like, okay, it's too serious.
Oh, that makes it better.
Yeah, same thing.
Oh, man. That game is literally sitting on my shelf at home, and it's like a Pandora's box at this point. Like, I don't want to open that can of worms again.
Man,
You You still thinking about Kenny?
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about all that. It's
Yeah.
just such legit rage. This is just beautiful.
Dude,
But
speaking of Street Fighter, it's like the only like legit fighting game that I could actually hang with you in, like when you're at 100%, is like I want to say Third Strike,
yeah,
Street
but
Fighter 3
see,
Third Strike.
even with that though, like again, that goes into my 100%. My 100% isn't 100%. It will never be 100% because I don't want it to be. And with Third Strike's my weakest Street Fighter, and
Is
that's
it?
mostly yeah, it is. And that's mostly because I never took the time out to try and learn it. I just kind of learned like half of a character, like
Uh
Makoto, and I just left it at that. I didn't try to attempt to learn anything special, and that's and again I had to make those choices because I'm like, well, while Austin's like I'm gonna try and do this and elevate, I was like I can't do that
mm,
because you know I'm already like I'm kind of I'm not gonna say I'm a natural, but I'm naturally talented when it comes to being able to pick up and play games.
right.
Um, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but this is just stuff I know.
Mm,
Like even like you saw it with Castlevania.
yeah.
Uh, my old friend Josh saw it when he had a PlayStation 2 and I didn't. I had never played Onimusha Warlords before,
Mm.
but I beat the game in 3 tries where it took him 2 weeks and he was on the final boss.
Oh,
And it took
jeez.
me 3 tries to beat that final boss. And he had been stuck on it for 2 weeks. So it was just like one of those things where if I kind of learn it, I can kind of fake it till I make it.
Mm.
But I try to stay in a position to where I don't get too good. And even and I've had some pretty devastating losses, but most of the time, I just try to get in people's heads to make them think I'm good, and then that's how I win because I try to make you think that I try to make you think that I'm good. I think the only game that I actually enjoy playing enough to try to get good at is Smash Brothers,
Yeah.
and that one I play it like it's a single player adventure game, so I don't really see it as competitive, but I do play it and I play it competitively and I am good at that.
Yeah, well, we're severely off topic, but at this point, who cares?
Well, I know, but those are all those memories and stuff, all that goes back into where we were
Yeah.
and how I looked at gaming, how I looked at video game magazines, and the love that I have for those things come from being able to comes from being able to look at all those old tropes, all those old things, and see, as a kid, where you're watching Sonic the Hedgehog Saturday morning,
Hmm.
and you're looking at the little printed, almost like a what do you call it, the board, what South Park was originally made out of.
A cardboard. I mean, paper cutouts.
Yeah, the like what kind of paper is that?
Construction
Construction
paper.
paper. Like they had like a construction paper guide for Sonic 3
Hmm.
that I used to help me learn how to play that game, or those kinds of things. So how I see games, how I play games and stuff, all that comes from looking at all these old books and just falling in love with just the images of it and hearing people talk about it and be happy about it and be
Right.
cool with it. And don't get me wrong, there are some turds out there. I know that, but I'm not like, I don't get, and I think this is where my biggest issue is with gaming journalism now and all this other stuff is like, it's almost too easy to tell somebody that their game is garbage, even if they try and step out on a limb and try and make something good.
Yeah.
And that kind of bothers me. I mean, there are some games that deserve it, and there's some games where somebody will write something and it's really funny. Like, and I get it. Funny is good. Funny sells. Anger sells. Hate sells, and
Yeah.
that's fine. I was thinking, and this is segueing it back. One of the reasons why I love DGM was because of the fact that they were able to do because of the fact that they were able to do so much with Sorry, I'm scratching my throat.
Okay.
Because they were able to do so much with so many of their titles, so many of their reviews, all this other stuff, and a lot of them were really funny. They did a review. Electronic Gaming Monthly did a review for. They did a review for Mortal Kombat Advance,
Uh-huh.
and it was basically like a port of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3,
Yeah.
but for the Game Boy Advance. And they said it broke the rating scale, and they gave it like a 0 out of 0, not even a one,
Was it that
because they
bad?
were like, because they couldn't find, like, none of the reviewers could find anything worth liking
Like
about it.
anything redeemable about it?
Nothing redeemable.
Wow.
And they were like, I remember specifically one reviewer said, "I'd rather drink a bottle of cat pee than play this game." Like, that was in the publication, in his
Wow.
review. He's like, "I'd much rather, like, one throw a bottle of cat pee." Well, he said
That's
cat
really
pee,
gross.
but, than play this game. It's that bad. Stay away. And it's kind of funny because these guys always reviewed, they always reviewed Spec Ops games,
Yeah.
and all the Spec Ops games got like really low scores because
Yeah.
Spec Ops games were horrible.
Yeah,
Apparently,
back in the day.
yeah. And then so it's kind of funny. That's why I never picked up Spec Ops: The Line, because I was just oh well. All I know is when I saw every year a Spec Ops game would come out, and I'd see 0.5, 1.5,
Yeah.
1.2, and I'd just be like, yeah, I'll stay away from that. Um, so they did this one thing where they did like the 20 worst games ever made,
Right.
and it was probably one of the funniest little publications that they did, because a lot of their stuff was really funny, and like one of the, like their number one game was ET the Extraterrestrial, and they did one for that was how I heard about Captain Novelin and all that stuff. Superman 64 was on there, Custer's Revenge
Oh,
for
Jesus.
yeah, and the way they wrote about the games, like apparently there's a website specifically set up with that entire publication, like
Yeah?
yeah, with
Well, you
that
can actually
entire
just go read the whole thing?
yeah, you can go read about every single one of them, like the Berenstein Bears, Crisscross, Make My Video.
We'll link it in the description in case anybody wants to go read it.
Yeah. And so here I'll just kind of read over. I'd like to actually read the publication for some of these, like Bible Adventures that's on there.
Like
That
the NES version of Bible Adventure?
Mhm.
Oh.
And this one was funny, and it's horrible, but it's funny. It says, so this one was number 19 on the list,
Hmm.
and it says, if there's a God, why does he let bad things happen? Or more importantly, why did he let these idiots put his name on this video game? Even Carrot Top can control what his name endorses. Whether our Lord and Savior had a hand in Bible adventures or not, his game blesses us with 3 terrible adventures to choose from. And, it talks about this Noah's Ark, Baby Moses, and David and Goliath.
Yeah.
And, let me see. Let me see. Like they talk about Baby Moses here in this game, and it says, "In Baby Moses, your job is to carry Baby Moses through the desert." I'm not much of a Bible reader, but so I don't know what this story is all about. All I know is that every single spider in that desert wants to kill Baby Moses. You can throw the baby at them, but neither he nor the spiders get hurt. Baby Moses just bounces a few times and smiles, and it doesn't take much more than a couple of minutes for this game to degenerate into me throwing Baby Moses into a river, watching him sink, then pretending it was an accident. Like, I mean, it's crazy. And then if you beat the level without him, your only reprimand is good work, but you forgot Baby Moses.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
And so it was basically like, that's it. Noah screams, not only did you fail, you killed Moses 94 times. What's the matter with you? So even if you kill baby Moses, you still feel pretty good about yourself. And I'd like to think this is exactly how baby Moses would want it while he was sitting on the bottom of the river getting eaten by spiders.
Wow.
Like, that's just one of the games. Or like when they talk about bad street brawler, you get, you could do it with the power glove.
Mm.
You know,
Oh, man. Bad peripherals. That's always a fun time.
oh yeah,
Like, I remember seeing, like when I first got my Dreamcast, I remember seeing in one of these EGM magazines. They were advertising Dreamcast peripherals, and one of them was actually like a flight stick, like a genuine flight stick for the Dreamcast. I don't know if it ever came out or not, but
Uh-huh.
it was like a genuine setup, like the one you have for your
Oh, I
PlayStation
have
4.
that Nintendo Flight Stick.
No, I'm not talking.
Oh.
I'm talking about
Oh, the
Dreamcast for the
Dreamcast Flight Stick.
Dreamcast.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it was like an all white setup. It looked almost exactly like that, and it had a stick on this side and a throttle on this side. I don't think it ever came out because I don't think there were any games that supported it.
They did have jet fighter games on the Dreamcast.
See, I
They
didn't
had
know that.
two.
Um, that and the light gun, like the little pistol light gun for the Dreamcast, the steering wheel, of course.
Mhm.
Multiple color VMUs, the rumble pack, the fishing controller, the microphone for Seaman, uh, the keyboard and mouse. I want to say there was like an actual piano add-on for it at some point. I
Mhm.
don't remember, but I remember that getting me so like jazzed about owning a Dreamcast.
Speaking of piano add-ons, the Nintendo Labo stuff is like $19 on
Is it
clearance.
really?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting like a. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I wouldn't mind getting a cardboard box piano.
We
Yeah,
should find the we should find like the steering wheel one and like do a video about putting it together.
yeah. Oh,
That'd
that
be
would be
kind of
kind of
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of neat.
yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. There's a okay. So I'm looking here at the Bad Street Brawler thing, right?
Sure.
And so the review, is funny. I'll let you go back and read it, but uh, it says graphics 0 out of 10,
Mm-hmm.
fun 1 out of 10, useful advice 2 out of 10. Right? It says
Useful advice.
under useful advice, it says the game opens with the soon-to-be famous proverb "Never trouble trouble till trouble troubles you." Right? That's how the
What?
game. Yeah. Have you ever played Bad Street Brawler?
No.
Oh man, it's so bad. But
Uh,
that's the way the game opens up. It just says "Never trouble trouble till trouble troubles you." Try saying
wow.
that 5 times fast. Well, anyway, it says the game opens with that proverb. Of course, it's pretty hypocritical since dressing up in a yellow diaper and kicking any random midget you see is blatantly troubling trouble.
Oh
That's all you
Jesus.
do is walk down the streets punching dogs, midgets, and Girl Scouts with flippers.
Oh jeez.
And you get like these ridiculous moves like ear twists and nipple twists and
What system was this for?
Nintendo.
Oh yeah, this sounds decidedly 80s.
Yeah, that's the that's the title screen right there. That's you.
I don't want to play this.
We'll have to play that sometime. But anyway,
Dude, did you ever own a Pocket Station? Remember those?
I did not. I wanted one because
Yeah.
in Final Fantasy VIII there is a hidden summon that you could get with a Moomba if you had a Pocket Station, and it was not available in the U.S.
Like literally, I just looked at that in this look, there it is, in this exact magazine.
Man, wow! Oh, wow!
I told you.
Yeah, see, and you get the friendship item, and that allows you to summon the Moomba in Final
Did they ever
Fantasy.
sell those in the U.S.?
They did not come to the U.S. That's why I never got one.
Oh God,
And getting something from Japan back then was really, really difficult,
difficult. Yeah.
and expensive. Like, I wanted to get one of those PlayStation Net Yaroses. It was like the black PlayStation 1 that you could actually build and create your own games on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was basically like a dev kit.
Um. Oh man, so like we kind of got off topic there, and we're talking about like stuff we saw in magazine. Like, is there one game in particular that you saw in one of these magazines that like either never came out or was canceled that you were super excited about?
Um, I'll say no. Because most of the games that I wanted did come out.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you look back 10 years ago and you remember that The Last Guardian was announced and then it got canceled.
It didn't uncancel.
But it never was officially canceled.
Right.
And then it shows up like 10 years later, 2 generations down the road. So I'm going to say no on that one.
All right.
What about yourself? I can't think if there are any games that I wanted that were canceled.
I do remember there being what?
Go ahead.
No,
I just
what
thought
is
about it.
what is it?
It's stupid.
Go ahead.
Mega Man Universe.
Oh God, that again?
Yeah.
Mega Man Universe.
Well, it was,
Wasn't it like a Mega Man MMO or something like that?
no, it was basically Mega Man meets Mario Maker.
Oh,
It
okay.
was Mario Maker, but with Mega Man.
Make your own Mega Man levels,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. And they had because it was announced alongside what was it? Mega Man Legends 3, and that got canceled too.
Wow.
And then he went on to make Recore and Mighty Number 9.
I'm sorry.
Me too.
All right, so I'm looking through this magazine. We were talking about like peripherals and stuff,
Hmm.
and there's this thing called the Dex drive. You remember that?
I do.
Yeah. So
You could hook up a memory card to it.
yeah, the Dex. You plugged it in your computer, and you could transfer your save files between a memory card and a computer hard drive, which
Hmm.
basically gave you like almost unlimited save space to save all your games.
Yeah. Or
Uh,
the ability to hack your memory card and
yeah.
update your save files to give yourself everything. Yeah.
And I'm like just on this page alone, like these peripherals look so stupid. Like you remember those memory cards that was shaped like stuff?
Yep. Yep. They still make those. I almost bought a USB stick for the PS3, but it was shaped like R2D2 or something like that.
Why would you need that?
I don't. In fact, what was it? I got a USB stick with my copy of The Force Unleashed 2.
Yeah?
I got The Force Unleashed 2, and it came with a USB stick in the shape of The Apprentice. I don't
Oh
know where that
gee.
USB stick went, but it came with it. I was like, okay, I'll take it.
You remember the True Steer? The True Steer 64?
Uh-uh.
You'll know it when you say, look at this thing. It was basically just a foam pad that you stuck the analog stick in the bottom and you used it like a steering wheel. It is the worst thing. Like
Is
you
it?
you snapped it onto the middle part of the N64 controller.
It's the True
The
Steer?
True Steer, yes, at Truesteer.
Wow, that's weird.
What, are you not pulling the images of it up?
Well, no, I was gonna look it up just to see if I could get it out there so everybody could see it. Well, yeah, no, it doesn't seem to exist on the
On the old interweb.
internet. I think the internet just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty bad. And like I'm flipping through the back and looking at these reviews, like what you were talking about. Different people reviewed the same game,
Hmm.
and they reviewed one of my favorite N64 games. They reviewed Beetle Adventure Racing,
Oh,
and
cool.
it got a gold medal. But I don't remember that game being particularly good. I
Hmm.
could be wrong. I need to go back and play it again. But yeah, that's so bizarre that they reviewed that game and gave it like a gold medal.
Yeah.
Um, oh wow, this one has like strategies for Siphon Filter in the back.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at one that has reviews for Siphon Filter Dark Mirror on the PSP. Elder Scrolls 4. Oh,
Oh yeah, here's another thing that they don't do anymore. Sections of the magazine with cheat codes in the back. Like
oh
they
man,
they
I remember that too.
like there's some cheat codes for Star Wars Rogue Squadron
Hmm.
where you could it'll turn the V wing into a black Cadillac limousine. They post this stuff like Game Shark and Pro Action replay codes and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Uh oh wow, Motor Racer, WCW, NWO Thunder, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. God, what is this? NFL Blitz? Oh, the Blitz codes.
Oh wow. 20 really rad years of Zelda. Take a historic stroll with Nintendo's happy little elf guy.
Stop.
Extracurricular activities.
Yeah, see, look, this is the logo for the official PlayStation magazine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I always got confused with those two.
Yeah.
Lady games for ladies.
Let me guess, it's a bunch of Wii titles.
No, this is 2006. So we've got Final Fantasy X-2, Barbie Horse Adventures, Mary Kate and Ashley Sweet 16, Barbie the Princess and the Pauper, and Trolls Hair Affair.
Oh wow, I remember looking through these and wanting to get like you remember those like the ads for this kind of stuff like Game Cave where you could import like wall scrolls and stuff.
Yeah, see, that was one of the things that I really liked about those, is you got all the import stuff on the... God, I'm going to look that up. I'm going to see if they're still in business. Okay, so look. Okay, so I'm going to have to check all these old electronic gaming because I forgot all about that.
What?
They did grudge matches.
What do you mean?
Okay, so in this particular book, let me see
Okay.
if they got it in this old one. Let me see. They might not. It might be in a different place though.
Okay.
So let me see.
Well, just explain what it is first before we get into it.
All right. Well, all right. Hold on.
Oh wow, a freaking guide for Link to the Past. That's dope.
Oh wow.
It's only 2 pages, but hey. Pro action replay codes for it.
Yep. Stupid. One of the worst things that ever come out.
What, the cheat devices?
Yeah, well, no, the pro action replay. It just made cheating in games like just... It's not even worth it anymore. It's just so much work goes into it. Like you have to punch in like basically serials of codes and digits, and I don't know. It's just dumb.
Dude, check out. Do you remember that thing, the Light Boy? It had those fold-out speakers on it.
Yes, I do.
Look at this. They made a big version for like monitors and stuff. And look, no, it folded in, and then you folded it out.
I need one of those.
Like a big CRT monitor.
Yeah,
what
I
do you
need that.
need that for?
I don't know. I don't know.
You just need it because it's cool looking.
Yeah, I think I need it because it is cool looking. Okay, so grudge match. Basically, it says, all right, so which night falls, right? So fight night. All right, so this one is grudge night, which night falls. This is in Electronic Gaming Magazine, or Electronic Gaming Monthly, May 2006, issue
Right.
203. And this one is Fight Night Round 3 versus Fright Night, the movie. Fright Night.
What?
Like Fright.
All
Fright
right.
Night. All right, so with Mike Tyson out of the picture, the chances of getting your neck bitten in the boxing ring aren't nearly as bad as if you were casting the 80s vampire flick Fright Night.
Oh, Jesus.
But you can get your butt whooped in either. Which would you prefer? All right, so fights. Hard-hitting slugfests or one-sided child beatings.
One-sided child beating?
Yeah. And so the advantage goes to Fight Night. And then opponents. Other crew-cut guys in high pants and gnarly vampires. And Fright Night gets the advantage on that one.
Well, of course.
Token girl representation. Ring babes or Married with Children's Amanda Bierce. That is like Fight Night round 3 gets the advantage.
Oh, Lord.
Soundtrack. A surround sound system lets you hear that right hook on your left ear. And then this one, frightening theme song by the Jay Giles Band.
Jay Giles Band?
Yep.
It has the glory of the sunfall.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
And then that goes to Fight Night round 3. Spectators, just a half tick above wrestling fans. And then Dracula's feathered-haired man slave. The advantage goes to Fright Night.
What the heck, man?
And then as far as stakes go, the championship title or mostly wooden. Advantage Fight Night. So Fight Night won. Our fight or fright response. The only thing that sucks more than Fright Night vampires is Fright Night itself. Take that, Chris Sarandon, wherever you are. Chris Sarandon, that's my dude.
Oh man, just I'm looking through these cheat codes and stuff like this is taking me back.
Yeah. 10 years ago in Electronic Gaming Monthly, so 1996, on the cover, Virtua Fighter 3, Game of the Month, Resident Evil 1.
Oh man, Fighters Mega Mix. Oh wow, there's a coupon in here. Good for $10 off Fighters Mega Mix at Sears.
Oh, wow. I wonder if that's still valid.
I doubt it, man. Let's see, valid from 5/13/97 through 6/22/97. I still wouldn't mind having Fighters Mega Mix on the Saturn.
Here at EGM, we don't fight over girls or sports teams or cars. We fight over video games. With our recent reviews of Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence, the fierce intra-office arguing flared up again. In one corner, you have the insane Metal Gear Solid 3 fans, Shane Butenhausen and Brian Initar. And in the other, you have a more reasonable and level-headed crew. Guess which side wrote this intro? And Dan Shu, or HSU, and Mark McDonald, who appreciate Subsistence but don't think it's all that, much less Game of the Month material. Here are excerpts from a recent lunchtime conversation, which you can catch on an upcoming episode of The One Up Show, theoneupshow.oneup.com. Wow, I forgot these guys did that.
Well, there's a review from, preview for Battle Arena Toshinden 3.
Oh, wow.
No, it's actually a review. Like, they got, like, average. Scored, like, 3.5s out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, there's a preview for MDK.
Yeah.
Top
Killer.
Skater. Street Skater.
Killer.
Dude, there was so many skateboarding games that came out back then.
Yep. Well, Tony Hawk broke the mold, and everybody tried to emulate that.
Well, it's like Tony Hawk 1, and then you had, like, of course, like Street Skater, Thrasher, Skate and Destroy, Top Skater. You had 3 Extreme. God, what else? Come on, help me out here. I'm drawing a blank. Did I miss any?
I didn't play anything but Tony Hawk.
I did. I played all those games.
Yeah, see, I didn't play any of those. I mean, all I know is Tony Hawk and Skate.
MTV Skateboarding, I played that one too.
Wasn't Mark Echo like a thing?
No, wait, what?
There was a game called Mark Echo.
There was a game called Getting Up by Mark Echo on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, it's like a platformer. Well, it's like an action platformer, I guess. It's kind of like Jet Set Radio, except super grimy and no roller skates.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a skating game.
No,
that's
it's
probably
not.
one. Oh, okay.
It's not.
Uh-oh. We got another grudge match.
Oh, Jesus.
Batman, the movies, versus Batman, the games.
Oh, can we not? Did you know, like I was flipping through one of these magazines that I remember reading, they were going to release Pro Skater 2 on the PlayStation 2, but they decided against it, and I cannot remember why. God, where is that plate? There it is. You all right over there? You getting caught up reading?
Yeah, I'm trying to. They're going through the movies. The Dark Knight has had a dark past when it comes to video game adaptations, and Batman began to change his ways with the latest dynamic game movie duo. In our proud tradition on picking on the Caped Crusader, let's look through the history for clues. Batman, dark and lovely thanks to Tim Burton's direction, or the game, a decent NES platformer in a time of nothing but platformers. The advantage goes to the movie. Batman Returns. Killer cast. Story makes subsequent Batman's a joke. Or the game does what the title promises anyway. Batman Returns. The advantage goes to the movie. Batman Forever. Sluggish plot makes it feel like forever. nauseating Genesis audio is not friendly to mindless beat 'em ups. Batman and Robin, cheesiest Batman since the '60s TV series, or appeared only on the only platform that could make it comparably bad, Game.com. Oh wow, yeah, Batman, Mask of the Phantasm / Batman Rise of Sinzu rocks the tights off about any other Batman movie, and then the game 10 years newer but only half as good. And then Catwoman. Can't remember anything but Halle Berry and spandex. Just rekindles the desire to rewatch the movie with sound off.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Oh man, 989 Studios games. I miss those. Well, there's an ad for MTV Music Generator in here.
Oh wow.
Cool Borders 4. There it is. Thrasher Skate and Destroy. One of the hardest skating games I've ever played. Ugh.
We'll have to play it because I'm curious.
It's not very good.
I remember playing Skate or Die.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I don't expect it to be any good, but I remember that. I remember it. I think I played the arcade version, I guess. Oh, what?
NBA Showtime.
Oh, man.
What'd you find?
The Aura Interactor.
The what?
The Aura Interactor.
Is that thing for the Sega?
That's the thing that hooked up to your legacy systems with the vest.
Oh, wow.
The rumble
okay.
feature.
It's like I remember that being a thing like a while back, like force feedback stuff you could wear.
Yeah.
Like gloves and vests and wristbands and stuff like that.
Yeah. See, that was a precursor to rumble function. I'm kind of curious about what they're doing with the PS5 and that controller, the haptic feedback controller.
Did you hear the latest rumor about the PS5 that's getting closer and closer to being confirmed?
You talking about the backwards compatibility thing?
Yeah, all the way back to the PS1.
Mm-hmm. I heard about that.
Oh,
I was like, it wouldn't surprise me. I'd pay top dollar for that.
yeah, absolutely.
Especially if they did it like they did in the first run of the PS3, where it had the actual hardware built into the system.
Yeah. But it's like at this point, they have to develop the tech to kind of like miniaturize most of that stuff.
Yeah.
To kind of get it down to like a nice, slim, streamlined system.
Well, I mean, all you're doing is adding on like chips, and you can put that into the motherboard. Heck, man, I'm pretty sure that the hard drive itself is going to be put into is going to be solid state and soldered into the motherboard. But I don't know, maybe not. That way, if it fails, you can easily get it replaced without having to send your system to service.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's just me.
All right.
But that's that. I just say that just in case. To try and make that a thing.
Right.
But I don't know.
So let's
I'll go ahead and say I spent my whole time talking about EGM, but that was like my that was my go-to magazine.
Yeah.
I did Game Pro every now and again, but
Tips and Tricks was my
Tips and Tricks was okay.
Yeah.
But it was specifically only
cheat codes.
Cheat codes.
Yeah.
Really. That was it. It was just
like
cheat
they
codes.
had a couple of articles in there.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a
Game Pro level.
Well, it wasn't a magazine. Tips and Tricks was basically it was split from Game Pro. It was Game Pro. Like if you went into the Tips and Tricks part of Game Pro, that's all that was. It was just they took it and made a second publication where it was just the cheats, no articles, no filler, just the cheats, just the facts, man.
All right. So let's close this out. Anything else you want to reminisce about?
Oh, you want to close it out? We're
Yeah,
done?
let's close it
Oh,
out.
okay, yeah, we can close it out. That's fine. We spent about the first 30 minutes trying to get it to work.
Yeah.
And trying to get it to set up right.
That's
I mean,
gonna be
maybe.
edited out later.
Yeah, no, I'll probably leave it.
Why?
You think so? You think I should
Edit it out.
Yeah, I'll probably cut it. I'll probably cut off the first few minutes.
Yeah.
Because it was just kind of crazy. But
It's us screaming in the mic going, test, hello,
test,
hello.
test. Nano machines.
Every Metal Gear Solid game.
So, yeah, I thought I had a pretty good time talking about this stuff, going down memory lane.
Flipping through like these old magazines brought back a lot of memories. Like
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go back and read some of these, just to see what they were right about, but mainly what they were 100% wrong about.
Yeah, like even and it's gonna be interesting looking through it because now you're looking at it the way they saw it at the time,
Right.
versus how we see it now.
Mhm.
And we've got the rose-colored glasses, and you can go back and say, oh man, Tony Hawk, man, that game was garbage, or Tony Hawk 1 was crap. But looking at it at the time, even looking at some of the graphics now, I'm looking at those books, I'm like, man, I thought that looked good.
Yeah.
That's crazy that I thought that looked good, and this was next gen.
Yeah. It's
Back in
like
the day.
the Dreamcast and the PlayStation 2 were getting ready to come out.
Yeah, but I never got to play Shenmue, so I don't care.
Me neither. I tried to play it once.
Yeah.
I don't get what the hype is about.
I don't either.
I don't.
But I never finished it. I remember you had to push a button or something, and it did something. I don't
You push
know.
a button, it did a thing.
Yeah, you run around town, buy fish, and go get on a boat. I think that's the end of the game. Is you get on a boat.
You get on your boat and you leave your terrible game.
Yeah, and then you have to go to the U.S. or something.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh wow! Wait, I know what this is. Yep.
Oh yeah, the
Lame
lame poster. That was awesome.
AKA Game and Farcer.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
More-
Duke of Acid.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat old.
Pokey meaningless.
Backseat driver.
Oh my gosh.
Final Fantasy
MM.
MMFCLV. Hi.
The beginning.
Mortal Kombat. Oh, that's Final Fantasy. Yeah, that's Final Fantasy 3100 and what? 58? 3158.
Wouldn't surprise me. That's really funny. The Star Wars Episode 1 Eraser.
Oh. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
No, that's really funny actually. Okay, so
You're like, oh, I know what this is. Oh gosh.
but yeah, man, these old game magazines, like we look back at them now, and we said like right off top, we didn't talk about Nintendo Power because everything that's been said about Nintendo Power has already been said, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a big part of our lives.
I didn't think it was that good of a magazine.
I enjoyed it for what it was. It was just a Nintendo magazine advertising Nintendo games. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, it was okay. It was a neat little publication at times, but
Yeah.
It didn't really. It wasn't like the best.
Didn't jingle your berries?
No, not at all. Another piece of meat wishes to contest for the golden axe.
The golden axe.
That was from Sega Visions. You remember that book?
I do.
I subscribed to that one.
Did you?
Yes, I did. I
Wow.
love Sega Visions.
That's a deep cut, man.
Yeah, that was a good book. Had a Atomic Robo Kid in it, and a bunch of Sega stuff in there. Lawnmower Man.
Oh God.
Lawnmower Man
That's
had
another one we need to play.
had a feature, and they had the little comic about the golden axe.
Another piece of wheat wishes to contest for the legendary golden axe. I remember you and Phil making that joke a lot.
Yeah, it wasn't really even a joke. Like, it was it was straight out of Sega Visions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was straight out of Sega Visions. And if I'm not mistaken, it was like a comic. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Mm.
Oh man! And then it had like Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Awkward silence.
What? No, I gotta look it up. I gotta look it up. Yep, here
I'm
it is.
in.
I found it. Save. Oh, wrong thing.
Oh, jeez.
Wrong thing.
There
There
we
it is.
go.
Here we go. Yeah, I'll put it up so you can see it. Niles Nemo. That's right. That was his name. Niles Nemo.
Niles Nemo?
Yeah, he was basically like the Sega's Captain N or whatever you want to Nestor
Mm-hmm.
or whoever you want to call him. And basically, he got sucked into a video game world where, because that was the thing back in the day, is
Getting sucked into game world?
yeah, getting sucked into game worlds. Oh boy,
Wow, what's so funny?
nothing, man, nothing, just nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It just is what it is. And so, you know, like that was just the thing, you know, like Captain N got sucked into a video game world. Why can't we have a guy that gets sucked into a video game world and all this other stuff? Well, anyway, he gets sucked into a video game world, and he runs into Axe Battler from Golden Axe.
Right.
Here it is, right here. I'm gonna share it, and basically, Axe Battler's like, so another piece of meat wishes to contest for the golden axe. And so that's pretty much it right there.
That's funny that y'all like made that voice up because that guy sounds like
Well,
that's
that's
what he would sound like.
yeah, that's like literally exactly what what we thought he would sound like. And so like yeah, he went to Sega Land here, and that was one of the things that he talked about was contesting for the golden axe. And so you know, it was just really neat to see.
That's weird.
Yeah, and Niles was like this. Like if you look at the character, he just looks like one of those kids that just what's his name from the redheaded kid from Salute Your Shorts, Budnick. He looks like one of those kinds of kids. He's like a bad street skater, scummy kind of, and he's like and then you got Axe Battler over here saying, "Oh, another piece of meat wishes to contest for the golden axe," and that always stuck with us. That just stuck
I
with
can
us.
tell.
Like so, I mean, it makes no sense. Don't know why we enjoyed it so much, but that was it just stuck with us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I can't explain it. It was great.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. Anything else you want to reminisce about?
I'm kind of proud of that, by the way, that picture. I took that picture.
Did you?
Yeah, I took that picture. That was my Ness amiibo and my Link amiibo. I took it with a macro lens.
Try not to break your arm patting yourself on the back there, Skippy.
Yeah. I'm just throwing it out there. I think
I know,
it's,
Mal.
it's a temporary situation until we get a logo together.
Get
figure
some
out
graphics.
get some graphics, kind of. But see, I don't really plan out. I don't see any reason to plan out, I guess, really a show per se.
Yeah.
Because, just having discussion, just talking.
Yeah.
Just talking.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, I don't
What
know.
do you want to talk about next time?
I honestly don't know. I just want to. We'll have that conversation when we get there.
Oh man.
No, we got to give some guess. I guess I don't know. I don't want to give people something to look forward to, unless they just want to hear the sound of our voices. But because it's hard to, really kind of plan out something. I mean, I guess if we have an idea, we can throw that out there. Is there something that you want to talk about?
I don't know, man.
Want to talk about games that influenced you, or I mean, because then at that point it becomes like rubric, and I don't want to. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I think I just want to. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Like, we've got like a lot of ideas for shows and stuff, and some of them are gonna come to fruition, some of them aren't. But no matter what we decide to do, we're going to try to make it as entertaining as possible. So you guys keep coming back, listening to two guys in their mid-30s talk about 30-year-old games and 20-year-old game magazines.
Yep, because we don't have anything better to do
Yeah.
other than to talk to you about old games.
Yeah, because that's what's like the hip new thing is like talking about old games and how terrible they were.
Yeah. I'm thinking I kind of want to we should do something we should talk I don't know if we should talk about the VR. Maybe we should just play with the VR and kind of mess around with
Yeah,
it.
I think we
Because we
should
might not even do a discussion. We might
yeah,
just do some
do a
gameplay,
do a
you know.
game. Yeah.
I think having the flexibility of doing whatever we want to with this show
Hmm.
would be probably its biggest strength. It's never the same thing,
Right.
and it doesn't get old.
Like it doesn't follow one particular format.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I don't want to get into that format. I don't want to get into having to find a shtick
Yeah. A
and
gimmick.
a
Basically.
gimmick that makes people. I could call myself the Randy video game turd burglar or
Oh
something.
God.
Like everybody's doing. I don't want to do
Yeah.
that. I just
Like I
wanna-
don't want to hook. It's just two guys just talking about stuff they enjoy.
Yeah, it can be about comics. It can be
Yeah.
about. We can talk about the time we went to Second and Charles. We can talk about whatever.
Dude, that wouldn't mind. That'd be a quick little 30-minute show. Just
Yeah.
talk about what we saw in there and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even have to be. We don't even have to put a time on it. That's the
Yeah.
thing. I want it to be. I want this show to be called Limitless.
No.
Not like I've never seen the movie, but I'm thinking
No.
there's nothing we can.
No. No.
No,
No.
no,
No.
okay.
That's really cringy.
And I mean, well, it's just.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's really cringy the way you sat here
Yeah.
and you threw the name out there and then you tried to explain it. That's
Yeah,
really cringy.
yeah. Well, it was intentionally because obviously I wouldn't name a show that. That's just bad. But even if I'm not here and you want to do a show with somebody else, you can come over here. You can get on here and you can do this show
Yeah.
with somebody, with your guest, and you can sit there and you can talk, or we can all talk
Yeah.
and have multiple guests.
I think I have this idea for a show, for an episode, I guess, where let's say Valentine's Day,
Mm-hmm.
we get you and your wife and me and my girlfriend, and we play Mario Party or something like that.
I'd be okay with that. I mean, y'all can't get mad if you lose.
Yeah, we know we're gonna lose because you are a turd that always seems to rig the game in Taylor's favor, not your own. Hers.
No.
You do everything in your power to screw all the other players so Taylor can win. And you can't sit here and deny it
that's
because
called-
I've caught you before.
That's called being a good husband.
No, it's called being a dick. Don't be a turd, man.
Somebody needs to calm down.
You better hush before I get Kenny over here and
Mm,
smash some more of your stuff.
Yeah. I love you, Kenny.
Oh,
I love you, Kenny.
But
Yeah.
that was good. That was a good show.
Yeah, that was a really good show. I'm really happy with the way that this came out.
I hope you guys come back and like I said, listen to us talk about 32 guys in their middle ages talking about, well, mid 30s I should say, talking about 30-year-old games and stuff.
Yeah.
Again, we really hope you come back. Don't forget to smash that like button.
Yep. And maybe one day I'll get a camera system set up and we can while we stream this, we can do video
Yeah.
to go with it and pictures and all that other stuff and not just have that sit there
Yeah.
and people can see,
What we're talking about.
Yeah, see what we're talking about, see who we're talking about, all those kinds of things. But we'll get there.
All right.
That's in the future.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, so it was good talk. Good
Good
talk.
talk.
Good talk.
Thanks, guys.